What's going on, NuCanoe Nation? Welcome back for another epic unlimited podcast episode, whatever you want to call it. Episode number 23, cranking these things out. If this is your first time here, we're here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Sorry, we were a little delayed. Mr. Patrick Randolph, of all people, called me out. Hey, it's after 8. So shout out to Patrick. You missed that episode. You can always go back and watch on the Facebook or YouTube pages or any major podcast platform. Just search NuCanoe Unlimited. Patrick already digging in with the Smallies rule. Can't disagree with that, man. Can't disagree with that. But welcome to tonight's show. As always, if you have any questions as we're going along, feel free to ask away, and we will get those answered for you. Tonight's epic guest is none other than Mr. Ray Martinez, straight out of Texas. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Andrew Vinton's in the chat says, such a fitting number for this guy. He's a GOAT. Hashtag GOAT.
Appreciate it. That's my guy right there. That's my guy. He's good people. That's a big bass catching fool right there. Actually ran into him on accident a couple years ago. He wasn't even in a NuCanoe. And then he ended up getting in a Flint. And now he has an F12 that actually I had before.
Okay.
The blue goose is what I call it. But
right on.
So it was the first blue NuCanoe that we had. It was actually just a blim that we put out, and I ended up just scooping it and ended up working out for everybody. So yeah, shout out to my guy Andrew V, man. Appreciate you, man.
Right on, right on. Patrick's calling you out. He says Ray growing some long hair out the back there.
Oh man, did y'all see that? Oh man,
yeah.
Hide that. It's a little hard to hide now, man.
I saw him tucking it in behind his ears, man, and behind the hat before we started.
Man, dang, I mean, it looked messy. I was like, God dang. My mom wouldn't be proud, you know.
This is Patrick. This is a fishing podcast, not a glamour podcast, bro. Wrong channel. Wrong channel.
Patrick likes his Ray Martinez handsome, I guess. I'm sorry, Patrick. It's Tuesday.
Oh man, too much. Well, I can already tell this is going to be a great episode. We're going to have a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, man. So, as always, let's hear it, man. How'd you get into fishing and kayak fishing, and how'd you end up in a NuCanoe, man?
Yeah, dude. Man, cool story actually. Years ago, Texas Ranger, I like it. So years ago, I was actually in a wilderness tarpon 120, and I was looking for something with stability. I was looking for something I could put my kiddo in as well. I wasn't really a good bass fisherman at all at the time. I was still kind of going through the trials and tribulations we've all gone through and trying to figure out these fish.
Sure.
Fast forward, ended up picking up a NuCanoe from a local dealer in San Antonio, Texas, and at the time happened to be a golf cart dealer. They sold golf carts, and the guy that worked there happened to paddle a NuCanoe, loved it, and was like, "We got to sell these," and started selling them out of the golf cart shop. So I bought a NuCanoe from a golf cart shop. Pretty awesome.
That's sweet. That's sweet,
yeah, man.
Is that guy still around selling kayaks out of the golf cart shop?
No, they've actually they only go with the golf carts only. They do a lot of like Yeti sales and stuff like that. But I think he just really liked the boat so much he ended up trying to sell them. And that was the Frontier 12 classic at the time. So nice.
Okay, right on. Yeah, the classic, man. It's funny. I still run into traveling around and stuff. There's still some dealers out there carrying them and selling them, man.
Oh, that's a great boat. It's a great boat. Super stable. I mean, it's a NuCanoe. Started paddling my NuCanoe around. Got pretty good at catching these fish. Entered into some tournaments and started posting pictures. Blake reached out to me. Was like, "Hey, man, looks like you do pretty well in the tournament scene out there. Let's make a relationship." Jumped on the team, and it's been great since, man. Now I'm an RD, regional director, with NuCanoe. I think going on like 12 years or something crazy. I don't even
That's
know.
awesome, dude.
But yeah, man, it's awesome. I love
True
it. I love
OG.
that boats. Yeah. OG. For
True OG in the
sure.
house.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
Old
like it,
school new
man.
canoe, man. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. That's cool. So it's always funny, man. I love talking to guys when they get that reach out from a company or something like that, man. I mean, what was that feeling like when, you know, let's say Blake's sliding into your DMs like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, dude, he totally did. He did slide in my DMs. I was like, hey, okay. Hi, my name's Ray. Let me get my hair together. No, man. I thought it was really freaking cool, man. I I thought I was awesome. I was like, oh man, I was like, this is awesome, man. Like this guy just owns the company and reached out to me and wants me to be on his pro staff. Sure, why not? Like absolutely. So yeah, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, man. That he personally reached out, asked me to be a part of it, and I've actually seen the team grow from just it wasn't a bad team. It was just it wasn't as organized. Let's say that it wasn't as organized. We didn't have as many active members. There was just people on the team, and I think the team's really in a awesome place thanks to Everett and Blake and everyone else, all the RDs currently. So it's been good,
Yeah,
man.
where in the world is Everett Park today? I give Everett a
Yeah,
hard time on every show. So
he's
yeah,
Batman, man. He's
yeah.
Batman, bro. You don't get Batman all the time. Sometimes Robin's got to go out there and kick some ass. So we all wear the R patch. But Batman's in the cave doing that Batman shit. He's my friend.
I
I
love
hold
it.
him
I
down.
love it. I
Yeah.
can't wait till I see him in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be like, "What's
Oh
up,
yeah.
Batman?"
Yeah. You're only gonna see this much though, man. Just. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. So what boat are you in now? Are you in the new Unlimited or are you still in the Frontier?
I am in the new Unlimited. Love it. I'm happy to be in it too. Very happy to be in it. It's an awesome boat. Uh, it's it hits all the T's, man. It's the Frontier Plus, if you
Yeah.
ask me. It's streamlined. It looks good on the back of my truck too. It just the way it just looks flush and even. I like the way it looks as well. It just sits real low on the water too. It's got a nice clean profile, so you don't get a lot of draft. The look is great, and then the functionality is awesome. It's impressive how well it drains, similar to the Flint. Draining ability. It just dumps the water out. The water has nowhere to go but out. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I forget who it was. I saw posted some photos from over the weekend, and it was actually Everett running some rapids in a river and just
Oh
took on a
yeah.
bunch of water and drained right away. And it's pretty cool, man. It's unbelievable. It's like every time I'm out, it's like I'm just like, oh, I love this feature. I love that feature. What
Yeah.
what is your favorite? What do you think the favorite new feature on that boat is that you like the most? If there was one feature that they would only give you on it, or that you wouldn't let them take away, what would that be?
Ooh, man, that's a hot question right there, man. I
Yeah.
like that. This went deep, quick. Yeah. Let's see here. My favorite feature. What have I been ranting about on that bad boy? The tracks. The amount of tracking. You
Yeah.
can't take that. Yeah, it because I can put I can put anything anywhere. There's
Yeah.
tracking everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, I used to get used to be a joke back in the day when I used to fish tournaments on a Frontier 12. Nobody had really seen a Frontier 12. They'd be like, "Man, it looks like you're on it. Just like looks like you're walking up and down a hallway on that thing, man." And it was like,
Right. Right.
I'm like, well, I'm also five. In case you don't know, some of you watch it, I'm 5'3". I'm huge. So obviously the boat, I make the boat look amazing. But that being said, it is like a hallway of track. You can just put tracking all over this boat. And now where the new tracking is up towards the gunnels, on the interior walls there, it is perfectly placed so where you can get other accessories in places you were never able to. And then the type of tracking that we've used on there is actually awesome. You can just clip in and clip out really quickly. I don't have to move my whole damn seat to put my GoPro
Yeah.
stick in or anything like that. So
Yeah,
I like it.
that's so huge, man, the drop in tracks and for those of you watching, if you didn't see or haven't heard, all the new models or all the model boats will now have the top load tracks, which is going to be pretty spectacular. I know when the Unlimited came out, that was the big question. Will the tracks be available for, upgrading on the boats, or will all the new boats have them? And the answer is yes. The answer is
Yeah, I'm
yes.
excited about that too. That's
Heck
a
yeah.
that's a big plus, man. It makes the other boats. If you're just gonna retrofit your old boat, which I'm gonna do, I'm not. I've one boat I'm so committed to. I'm not gonna sell it just to get the new tracks. I'm just gonna put the new tracks on it.
Sure. Sure.
Because yeah, I want to, and then now that that's available,
Yeah.
now it's everything I needed.
So yeah, so nice, man. Because like before, you used to have to, go down to one end, slide it all the way down to where you kind of wanted it, and then if you had something already mounted, now you had to slide that out, the new one in, and so on and so forth. Like that was like I think me personally, that was the biggest downfall of like the super long tracks. But now with the top loads, dude,
For
that all
sure.
that is just such a breeze, such a breeze. We got
Absolutely.
where was it? Andrew Vinton said the back handle. He loves the back handle.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that one too because that back handle was it's clutch.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm not tall, so if somebody, I always used to put somebody on the back end. I'm
Yeah.
not taking the front. I would always take the front end because the
Yeah.
person in the back.
I did
I'm
the
like, hey,
same
you
thing.
might help me with my kayak?
Yeah, yeah. You can grab the back handle. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's back there
I look
attached to
for
a
a
rope.
tall guy too. Like you look tall. It's not gonna hit you in the knee. Me,
Yeah.
it's taking my knee out, dude. Like I'm like, no, I don't hit you in the shin. You're fine. You'll survive. Yeah.
I
Sorry,
love it.
everybody. Don't if I ask you to help me load my kayak, now you know. Probably shot
Yeah.
myself in the foot on that one.
Well, now you're taking the back handle.
Yeah,
Nick can have
oh
the
yeah, for
front.
sure. Somebody else
Yeah.
take the front, you know.
I love it. I love it. So we got to hear about this, man. This is something I was interested in talking to you about because you sent me a photo that was in the intro that I threw in there. The Guadalupe bass, man. You got to tell us about these Guadalupes.
Oh man, the quads are cool, dude. That's a cool fish. I'm so lucky. We are so lucky to have them in Texas. Texas is Texas got a lot of cool things. We got big bass, and that's the thing. That I think that's the fun part is because we have these monster big bass and lakes all over Texas, and even in the rivers. There's some river donkeys out there, man. So the guads, they make it fun because they hit harder than those 5 pounders do, and they'll that one right there is actually that is
That's
just
a
a really
largemouth, right?
that's a pretty large mouth.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
actually have to find and send maybe a guad. But if you're looking at that photo, that one right there, the guads, what they have is they have rows on their bellies, similar to a spotted bass. That's what they are. They're essentially a type of spotted bass.
Okay.
But they're native to Texas. They have these rows on the bottom of their bellies that kind of indicate that that's a quad, and then their lateral lines, that bar that they have is kind of broken up. But really, the fun part of it all is they don't get very big. The biggest one ever is like almost 4 pounds. So I think it's like 3.8 pounds is the state record. But I bet you that fish fought like a 6 pound to 7 pound bass easily, and they fight like a smallie, but different. It's like matter. Just the whole time that fish is fighting. Even when you get him in the boat, he's freaking out. You can't even. They're not huge, but they fight, man, and they're so cool. And because they're it's like the shoals out east. That's the only place you can catch those shoals. Those shoals get bigger than our quads do, but our quads are just unique and they fight. The pound for pound, if those things got to 6 or 7 pounds, I wouldn't know what I would do with myself. I'd only want to catch quads because that's how awesome they are.
Yeah, they're definitely unique fish. I'm sorry, I was pulling up a picture so we could share
Yeah,
this up. Thank you, Google, for helping me out on the fly here.
there you go.
But yeah, they just look like a cross between a smallmouth and a largemouth, but just like feisty. I think somebody
For
dropped that
sure.
in there. Yeah, feisty
Yep.
little guys.
Super feisty, man. Gosh, they're just fun to catch. Excuse me. And then oftentimes you can catch them pretty easy. Um, The funnest way to catch them is on light tackle. I generally like to use like a medium light or fly rod. Because
Okay.
yeah, medium light's really the best way to do it. I used to use just a medium because I was out there trying to just catch. There's trout in these rivers too. We have some rainbow trout that get stocked annually. There's some holdovers now. There's largemouth. There's striper. So medium rod's kind of like your go-to because you never know what you're going to catch. But if you're targeting those quads, medium light, man, and it's on. It's so much fun. Golly. And you could, my biggest, I think, is 2.8 pounds, roughly around 17 inches. So that's a stud. That's a
17 inches, you said?
yeah,
Dude, that's uh, that's pretty stellar.
yeah,
Sorry.
man. It was pretty solid fish. I think it was around 17, if I'm not mistaken. I have it written down somewhere. That was years ago. I haven't caught one that good in a while.
But you're going after them on a fly rod too, you said, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. That's the funnest way to get them. I've actually caught maybe three solid ones over. You want the idea of, I think, a trophy. I would say for most people, you catch a trophy quad is a 14-inch plus quad. Your
Hmm.
Guadalupe bass. That's a big quad. Yeah, I would say that's like catching a 5 pounder. Oh man, it's a big bass, a 5 pounder. So in the quad world, you know, well, 14 inches is pretty big.
That's pretty killer, man. That's pretty killer.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
always
they're
heard
fun.
about them in guys talking about them, that are from down in Texas and stuff, that they're just, because there's always that debate of like, what fights better, a largemouth or a smallmouth? And then you get some guys that are, down in that southeast region, and they're talking about Swanee bass and shoal bass, and then the Texas
Yeah,
guys are talking about Guadalupes. It's just cool,
yeah,
man, that we have so many
yeah.
different bass species,
We're blessed,
and
man. We're blessed
yeah,
to have them. It's really
absolutely,
cool.
man. It's
Yeah.
I've never really talked to anybody about Guadalupe bass, so I'm kind of geeking out right now. So I'm sorry if I
No,
get
dude,
off the
I'm
beaten
glad.
path.
I'm glad you asked. That's like my favorite. It's my favorite fish to catch because of where I am, right? I mean, there's a lot of
Sure.
guys here that like to target them. I'm not the only one. And the fly guys, really, the fly fishing community, that those fish are, uh, that's the fish. It's the Texas trout. That's what we call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Right on.
yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I've seen it. Like when I was heavy into fly fishing, man, I would always read about guys, going down south, like instead of going out west to chase trout, they were going down south to chase Guadalupes. And I was like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
thought you guys were a
That's
bunch of
cool.
trout junkies. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
man, you don't understand.
Yeah. No, it's cool. They fight like a trout. They'll take you to the current and they'll utilize the current so that they're just a little muscular little body, man. It's such a cool fish.
That's
If you ever
awesome,
get down
dude.
here, man, you let me know. I'll put you on them. We'll get on them
Hey,
good.
and Andrew got to the invite first, man. So he said,
Oh,
we'll put you on them. So
actually,
I guess the three of us are going out.
hey, trio, three's the crowd. I love it. Three's the
I
party,
like
actually.
it. I like it. I like it. I definitely got to get down there, man. I definitely got to get down there. But,
Sure.
so when you're not chasing the Guadalupes, man, what are you really focusing on?
Oh man, having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a great time. Now on the river at fishing, I take my boys a lot with me.
That's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, I trying to get them on fish nowadays is really the focus. I feel like I've hit a lot of milestones as far as fishing in Texas and just being an angler all around. Now I feel like it's time to focus on them and try to get them more, on those bites and then more. Hopefully, I set them up for some tournaments in the future or anything like that if that's something they want to go into. But I think my youngest has that fishing bug because if I pass a shaded tree or lay down or a bush that's looking too right, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, we're trying to get back. Mom made dinner, man. We got to get back. She's gonna be upset." He's like, "Zzz." So we got
Yeah.
lines back behind us. I'm like, that better not be stuck in the motor later. So you better reel that in.
That's
So
great,
yeah.
man. It's that always one more cast, Dad. One more cast. Like I
Oh, and I
remember
love
those
it.
days growing up,
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, I'm so proud of it, and I'm glad that he has that bug. My oldest, he's cool. He likes to have fun. And after a while, he's like, man, it's hot. Let's go swimming.
Yeah.
But the other one, he's like, let's swim for a little bit. But after we catch these fish, man, like he wants to get a bass in his hands before he goes and plays.
That's awesome.
I
That's
like that.
awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we see the little 2.3 motor back there, man. You're running that on the boat. Tell us what that's about, because I don't know if we've had a guest on yet that's been running the outboard.
Man, yeah. I've got them both. So I got the troll motor and the 2.3. The outboard, man, it's just cool. It gets you through. Troll motors are great. They run great. They're smooth. They're quieter. I actually like it in certain scenarios when I'm trying to have both of my boys on the water and talk to them because it's a lot quieter.
Sure.
But the outboard, man, when it's windy, it no matter what, your speed doesn't really change, man. You're just plugging through. I feel like it's just got that torque that just gets you through everything.
That's cool.
And yeah, and then there's the ease of it all, man. You can turn on a dime. I feel like you can get that long tiller in the back there, so you can turn really quickly. Actually pull. Uh, I pulled like 4 kayaks behind me with that thing. So like, I'm like, hey, they're like, hey, we're trying to get over there too. I'm like, no problem, bro. Get
Yeah.
over there. You get yourself back, you know. Or if I have buddies with me, we'll get to the other side of the lake. And man, that dam. I know they're on the dam. I know they are too, but we're on the other side of the lake. Grab
That's
on,
funny.
you know, or who has the rope. So yeah,
I did that
yeah.
one night. This was like a month and a half ago. I think I posted a video on my Instagram and my Facebook page if you guys want to check it out. But there was we have 4 NuCanoes out. It was a guy from the kayak shop and 2 of his buddies, and then myself. And I got a 50-pound thrust motor with the new EPS mount on the back. And it was getting dark, and they're like, we're at one end of the lake, launch is at the other, and I was like, grab on, boys, and we made it work. We had 4
Hell yeah.
boats side to side, all side to
Yes.
side, cruising. We didn't get there very fast, but we got there. I mean, we were
It's a
doing
good
like,
time too. That's the
yeah,
cool part is
yeah,
it's a great time because now you got everybody there. Nobody's
yep,
working, you know,
yep,
nobody's working. And that's the fun part is you got everybody there. And then when you get to the spot, you go back to your kayak fishing. Everybody goes back to hustling. And I don't know. I think it's great, man. I love having it. It's been a great tool for me.
sure,
I was a little apprehensive at first because I was all about that. I'm such a river bum. Was all about that paddle life. That's the
yeah,
whole reason why I even got into kayaking. It was like,
sure,
well, I drink a lot of beer. I don't really like working out all the time. I'm just gonna buy a kayak and paddle. I'll mountain bike and paddle, and hopefully I keep the LBs off.
sure.
And then I started looking and seeing there was fish in the water, and then I just turned into a beer drinking fisherman again. So it didn't really help out, but it's been great, man. That outboard has allowed me to get further places, enjoy the day longer because sometimes that wind kicks up, especially when I'm at the coast. The Texas coast can be a windy bee, man, and any coast I'm sure is. But that bay gets whipping, and you really want to get to those that sheltered water. You have an option with that
Sure.
outboard, and it's got great gas mileage too. I don't know what the actual gas mileage is. I'm not that guy. You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, sure,
But
sure,
I
sure.
bring 2 gallons of gas with me. I think it's 2 gallons. No, it's a gallon. And I fill that bad boy up. So that I fill up the outboard itself, bring another gallon of gas, and I don't ever need any more than that. And I've never gone through the whole gallon.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it
That's
just
crazy.
gets me everywhere. And I'm pretty far. Some places I'm like, man, I'm a little too far.
Yeah,
But
right. There ain't
oops,
any gas stations out here. Hopefully
yeah,
we
I
make
better
it
get
back.
back. Yeah. It's gonna be me in the wind and these shoulders.
That's
Yeah.
cool, man. How fast are you going with like
I feel
full
like
open?
I think the last time on my phone, I think it was like 7 miles an hour,
Dude,
maybe
that's
8.
crazy. That's
Seven's
crazy.
fine with me. I'll take 7.
I
I'm
like it.
light too. I'm under $150, so the boat that boat's not doing anything. It's just floating. So it just got a motor on it, pretty much.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's super cool, man. Super cool. Well, you mentioned
Thanks.
you go out to the coast too, man. So what are you specifically going after out there? Anything that bites, or you a
Man,
redfish guy, sea trout guy? Like,
I like redfish. Redfish are fun. I like the I love catching redfish. Redfish, the catch of it all is that's where it's at. If I'm going to the coast, I'm trying to catch reds. But if I'm trying to eat, I'm trying to get on these flounder, man.
okay.
Bad. real bad. Man, it's like that fish. Woo, I love flounder. And if I was up north, I'd be a halibut junkie. But
Okay.
that fish is so good. I don't know what it is. I guess just because out of all the fish we ate growing up, that was the one that was brought home the most, I think. My
Okay.
uncles did a lot of gigging and stuff, so we'd always had flounder. So
How
I
do
don't know
you
if
how do
you
you like to cook your flounder? How do you guys prepare it?
Man, so there's a couple different ways. We bake it. I bake it a lot. It's easier in the oven. I think it tastes the best out of the oven.
Okay.
I've got a couple of little spicy blends that we put together. My dad actually put together. I just use his recipes.
There you go.
Uh, yeah, I'm not the cook. I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I enjoy a good cook or somebody who wants to put it all together. The process is what really kills me. I'm like, I just want to eat. I'm like,
Yeah,
feed me
just
that thing. If it's half dead, cooked, give it to me. I will eat that. That's good. Yeah, you don't put too much stuff on it either. I like it kind of regular. So,
right on.
uh, but yeah, no, but with the flounder, it's just great. My wife makes it one way. Her mom puts it together, and then I have one of my dad recipes, and it's through the oven. But it's great, man. It's just a really, really flaky fish, and it's white. It's yummy.
Yeah, I've heard it, like, for me up here, like, our white flaky fish is a walleye, and I've heard it kinda compared to that.
Yeah,
Obviously
walleyes are good, man.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
and
yeah.
not a real fishy taste either. So for a
Right.
salt fish, I would say a flounder is not fishy at all. Like you wouldn't even know you were eating a fish from the sea. It's just
That's
crazy. It's
cool.
that good.
That's super cool. That's
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah, I know we were talking a little bit before we got on air, and my good friend Dustin Nichols, man, he's all about for eats the sea trout, and he's like, I'm telling you,
Oh
man,
yeah.
you come, and he's like Chef Boyardee, like with
Yeah.
tattoos, and
Okay.
he's always telling me like, oh, dude, you come down here, I'm gonna cook you some sea trout, you're never gonna want to leave, this and that. So it's always interesting, man, to get people's takes on that. I'm always curious, like how guys prepare their fish and things like that, man.
Yeah.
I love
My
I
my
love
uh my runner
partaking.
up my runner up to uh flounder would be actually like I said, redfish. Redfish is just great. Anytime, any season, redfish is great. But flounder, just I think such picky eaters when it comes to artificial bait. I'm just so glad to get them
Sure,
when I do get them. But redfish, you get those a little more often. Trout too, but redfish on a half shell has to probably go down as top two, favorite fish there.
I like it. I like it, man. I have yet to fish the ocean, so or the Gulf. So
Oh man,
one
like
day, one
yeah,
day.
man, you come to San Antonio, we'll get you. We'll grand slam you. Hopefully, man.
I got a bunch
We'll
of people down in Texas that are like, you need to get down here. I'm just going to make the grand tour of the whole state. It may
dude.
take me a couple weeks, but
You get down to Centex area, you're good. You get Austin, San Antonio, you can hit it all in a
nice.
couple of days. It's that fit. I'm not trying to put it less on blast, but we're a fishy state. It's really cool. We're spoiled. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, I remember we had Danny Uribe on a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Man, I'm
Yep.
so glad I left California. Texas is unbelievable." He's like, "I can't even tell you how many double-digit bass I've caught since I've been here."
No, he's killing it. That's my
Yeah.
guy too. Danny and I have actually connected since he's been in Texas. He actually used to live down the street from me. I wish he
Okay.
still did because we'd probably fish a little more together just because it'd be easier to pack up and run out.
Sure.
Uh, but he still lives pretty darn close. But Danny's a good guy. He's a hell of a stick, man. I didn't really. I followed him a little bit. I didn't realize how good of a stick he actually is. He's damn good fisherman, man. He catches some big fish. And
That's
lakes
awesome.
that aren't productive as for me even. I'm not a big canyon lake fisher. I haven't a fisherman. I haven't been out there in a while. But when I did fish it, it wasn't the I wasn't very successful. I've caught good fish there, but nothing I was ranting, raving about. He goes out there and he starts smacking big smallies out the gate. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to Canyon and check some things out, reevaluate my skill set.
Yeah,
But
reassess the
yeah,
situation.
reassess. Yeah, for sure. Get back on the grind, Ray. You sorry fisherman. You. Uh,
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we're kind of winding down a little bit here, man. But
yeah.
every show, I ask our guests this one question: You got a Frontier 12. It's rigged up tandem. You can go fishing with anyone, dead or alive. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, that's a great question, dude. Gosh, you get these great questions. Um, my 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 best friend Sammy passed away when I was 16 years old, and we actually hunted a lot. We never got to go fish, but that's one person I always think about. I'm like, man, if I would have grown up, I would love to take him fishing because I'm actually worth the damn at fishing versus
Yeah.
hunting, and I would love for him to enjoy the fishing and memories that we would have been able to make. So yeah, my boy Sim.
Oh, right on, dude. Right on. I love it. Love it, man. Super
For sure.
cool. Super
Thanks.
cool. Well, I'll give you the floor, man. Any shout outs, anything else you want to talk about, anything like that, man?
Oh man, let's see here. Gosh, well, I guess I shouted out Danny already, who's been holding it down. Boy Andrew there. Um, man, just overall, really just NuCanoe, man. The brand, the company. I know there's some, there's some peaks, there's some valleys that the company has seen publicly. That people have seen. There's some things that not every company is perfect, but NuCanoe does a damn good job of trying to make it right.
Yeah,
If it wasn't right, well, we always try to do it right the first time, so we're not backtracking and you know, uh, for lack of a better term, pissing in the wind.
sure.
So I think with the new Unlimited, we really tried to put everything together in it, and I think it came out a lot better than I expected. The drainability, the durability of it, just the whole design is I couldn't ask for a better boat. I really enjoy the new features versus some of the old Frontier 12. Not to knock the Frontier 12, but that boat is the bee's knees. That's what, if there was
Yeah,
no other boat in the world, that I would still want a Frontier 12. To be honest, I still have the 10. And if I didn't have the 10, I'd have a 12 sitting back there too. So just because the F10 is so reminiscent of the 12. But the
sure.
whole lineup is great. I think there's a boat for everybody now that in our product suite. So
Yeah,
that's really where I really like to speak on, and when I'm at demo days or anything like that, telling customers try them all. Try different boats. Also go try those other boats too. This may not be your boat. It's not a boat for
yeah,
everybody. No boat is. Um, but our boats give you a wide array of ability to do different things, and the stability in all of them is great. So yeah, shout out to NuCanoe, man, for making a great
heck
boat. I'm
yeah.
still with them. They don't pay me shit. Just letting y'all know. I'm just happy to own a boat, and yeah, I would get a discount just like everyone else for being on staff. But it's something I've earned really for shouting them out as much as I do because I really believe in the boat. I believe in the company. It's a great product. So yeah, shout out to them for building a great boat and continuing to.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I love it. Love
Yes,
it,
sir.
man. Love it. Well, dude, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and chat for a little bit tonight and letting the good folks at home get to know you and how you utilize the NuCanoe and, getting a hint at some of that Texas fish action.
Yeah, man. Thanks, B. I appreciate it, man. You get down here, man. We'll make a time. We're gonna meet in person soon, so I'm looking forward to that. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, we will see you at ICAST, boys and girls. NuCanoe will be at ICAST. A bunch of the team guys will be down there. We'll be running some shows. I think there's some stuff that is going to come out or something. So you might want to stay tuned for the week of July 20th.
Yeah,
Right
out
here,
for it.
we'll be pumping some live shows out straight from ICAST and just showing you guys some cool stuff. We may even see Everett Park on one of these, boys and girls. Everett Park, come on now. So I got to get my digs in at Everett. I
Yeah,
told him.
yeah,
I told him
yeah.
he actually encouraged me to dig into him. Every show.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah,
No,
yeah. So
well deserved. Much
Batman,
deserved.
Batman will appear from
Yeah,
the
we can put.
cave.
Yeah, we'll put the light in the sky. Make sure he
Yeah.
shows up for sure.
I love it. So if you guys tuned in late, you can always go back and watch the show from the start right here on Facebook or YouTube. If you're a podcast person, any major podcast platform, just search NuCanoe Unlimited. You'll find all the episodes there. This was episode 23 with Ray Martinez. I got his Instagram handle scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. So go follow him on Instagram. He's got some pretty awesome pictures. It's at Osprey_TX. So Ray, thanks so much, man. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. Everybody out there that's tuned in, thank you as always. We will see you next Tuesday.